Cup game against Central Oklahoma since 2013.
I like that line from your podcast that you were talking about. We're ready for them, but they may not be ready for us.
Kickoffs brought to you by Premier Pet Clinic. Tyler Crawford runs to the football, and we are underway. This kick, a line drive, lands into the end zone. So UCO will set up shop at their own 25. We'll pause for 10 seconds for station identification on Lakes Country 102.1.
Tyler Crawford's kick goes through the end zone.
All right, Lou, so we talked about Central Oklahoma, this offense. They're high-powered. They lead the MIAA in scoring with 52.8 points a game. They average almost 578 yards per game. They are going to be a load. We will see if NSU's ready for them.
They got to be defensively strong from the get-go for the NSU Riverhawks.
Hutt from the gun, hands off to his top back, and already he's looking to break one off. Jalen Cottrell, he is gone to the 20 on the other side, 10 touchdown. The seam just opened up the middle, and UCO first play from scrimmage. It's a 75-yard rushing score from Jalen Cottrell. That's one where if you're a defensive coordinator, you just, I guess, shake your head.
Just a nice little gap there in the middle created by his offensive line, able to open it up and give him a huge hole. And the receivers went out and to the outside, which pulled the defense away, so they had that huge gap in the middle, and they had to recover.
Jet Huff is the holder, which makes the option of a fake always intriguing you to assume for UCO, but they've got one of the reigning athletes of the week in Nicky Quevedo to kick the PAT. It's up, and it is good. So some frustration early for Northeastern State, just 10 seconds in, and the 11th-ranked Broncos already on the board. That's got to be frustrating again if you're Northeastern State. We'll go to Sean momentarily, but I want to get your take, Lou, on that play again. Seam just opened up. The gate's wide there, and Jalen just took it to the house.
Yes, the gates open up right in the middle, as you said. Just that offensive line moving everybody to the outside. The receivers went out and turned to the outside towards the sidelines, and that drew the defense, and then that hole just became that much bigger, giving him some room to get the afterburners and get going.
All right, Sean, if you can hear us, we'd love to get your stance on it because, again, you got the best seat in the house.
It was a quarterback read option, and they held the lineman, and their offensive line is huge. We've got to get some penetration to even just break that up. So we'll see if Jarvion Williams can make a difference.
Northeastern State get a chance to go on offense. I don't know if Darian Dortch expected to go out there with only 10 seconds elapsed, perhaps a little bit more after this kick. Quevedo to do it. And
how about back a return for 6? I'm ready for that.
We'll see. Harrison Caldwell back to get the job done, hopefully. Caldwell's returned 11 kicks this season, averaging 20.6. He did take the opening kickoff last week against Lincoln, 43 yards for a season best. Caldwell will get it here, fielding from the 3. Runs to the near side, his left. He cuts back around the 15, and he's brought down by a pair of Broncos. See Braden Waters getting involved, so NSU not great field position as the return was not magnificent from Caldwell. Far short of, again, his initial return last week of 43.
Kobe Stevens, a nice open field tackle there to chase him down at about the 15-yard line.
So we'll see Darian Dortch, only 16 seconds off the ticker, 14:44 remaining. 7-0, Broncos on top off of a 75-yard touchdown run from the MIAA's leading rusher, Jalen Cottrell. They only have 3 All-MIAA guys on offense from last year, 1 on defense, but they've got a lot of guys that I'm sure are going to register that this season. Meanwhile, Dortch immediately out of the gun, outlet pass to his right to Ramon McKinney, but he doesn't get back to the line after making the grab. McKinney, you know they're going to use his speed today, but he's brought down for a loss. One of the guys I see getting involved there, perhaps the D-tackle Hunter Largent. They only have 3 down linemen defensively, but, man, they can play.
As that play moved to the right, the defense just kind of moved with it there, and they closed up that hole pretty quickly as soon as he got that short pass.
Riverhawks have 2 receivers out on the wide side of the formation. Again, Broncos 3 down linemen. Get a handoff to McKinney. McKinney takes it past the 15 around the 20, and he's brought down after a pretty solid gain. Looked like he got about 6 from the 14 to the 20. It's interesting right there as it brings up 3rd and 5. UCO had a man in the backfield, but he made the wrong read, thought that Dortch was just going to keep it, and that ended up costing him a few yards.
A nice little block out there in front, able to push the man to the outside, the defense, and he just cut up field inside of him. Got that extra yard.
14:45 left in the opening quarter. Riverhawks down 7-0. And SU 4 receivers out in the formation. Dortch from the gun with Ramon McKinney as the tailback, lined up to his right. They send Caldwell further out wide on the far side. Now send him in motion. Dortch takes the snap. Dortch looking, scanning, has a little bit of time, not a ton. Outlet
Nice.
to Deuce Roberson from the 27. He makes the grab on the near side, gets it past the 40 for a first down and a little bit more. That may be an understatement. A big gain for Northeastern State of over 20 yards, and that takes us to our first Whataburger first down of the ball game.
And he was just doing a great job. Dortch just looking up the center of the field, drew the defense to the center of the field, and had a man just kind of sneak open on the outside. He's able to get the extra yards. Came close to a flag there with a little extracurricular outside of bounds as soon as he got out of bounds.
Deuce on pace to have the most receptions for an individual NSU receiver since 2014. A little bit of trickery. Dortch throwing behind it. Deuce looking to go deep. Finds his man. Yes, Ramon McKinney to the 10. Touchdown, Northeastern State. Punch, counter punch. The Riverhawks go.
Nice play. Threw it to the outside. Did not hesitate. Caught the pass. Looked downfield. You've got a man wide open. Hit him in the numbers on the stride, and you can hear the coaches going crazy.
Oh, yeah, they have every right to be. I mean, some trickery. You know that they got to be a little bit silly with the playbook a little bit, but that time it paid off. It worked to perfection. Deuce, I mean, he looks like he could play quarterback. I mean, that was a beautiful throw to his man downfield, Ramon, and McKinney had his defender cooked. Riverhawks looking to go with the PAT. Our touchdowns are brought to you by Whataburger. Troy Wynn, the former Bixby Spartan. He has been perfect on PATs this season. 7 of 7 last week, 17 of 17 on the campaign. He strikes the back of the net, and it's good. Even Steven at 7 apiece. Northeastern State and Central Oklahoma. I know that DJ Sean Solo's voice is probably about ready to go out. We'll take a quick break. When we come back, we'll go down to DJ. This is Lakes Country 102.1 and the MI set to kick off. Sean, give us your take.
Incredible play design. Brought in the defense with that screen behind the line. McKinney broke free, wide open, beautiful, beautiful play design.
This kickoff brought to you by Premier Pet Clinic. Appreciate their support of Northeastern State football. Crawford set to send it deep. Kobe Stevens to return. Crawford with the boot and edge of the end zone. Oh, he lost control for a second. Now quick out. It looks like Stevens still has the football, and he may have a little bit of yardage out of it off of the initial fake lateral from behind. He goes to the 40, the 30, and, I mean, they fooled me, Lou, but it looked like a disaster there for a second as Stevens initially didn't handle the kick right at edge of the end zone. He's able to take it all the way back firmly into plus territory.
Yeah, and there was a couple of holds there, and a great job of the defenders or his lead blockers there staying in front of the Riverhawks, but able to finally get to him all the way down to the 30-yard line. But, yeah, that fake was really, really beautifully done. He just kind of reached out and pulled the football back and kept going, and then special teams kind of shifted a little bit, then had to shift back.
He was coordinating that time with Dev Matthews, and I'm sure Stevens thought for a second he had a shot at his third return touchdown of the season. He is officially marked down at the NSU 29. Jet Huff, chance to throw his first pass of the day. No, instead he hands off to William Mason. Mason pushes to the outside, and he looks like able to pick up a little more than 5. I think they'll actually give him 7 here.
Blake Korn did a great job, a Tahlequah High School player who's graduated right here at home, following that to the right.
Huff to throw out of the gun, looking to go end zone, and yes. Touchdown Broncos. Pass is caught by the tight end, Dominic Dunn. So quickly 2 scores for Central Oklahoma after the initial run from William Mason for roughly a 5-yard gain. Huff does the rest, and you're just seeing right there how dangerous he can be, but also how good his targets are. 13th catch of the season for Dunn, and it goes plus 20 yards to the house.
And you talked about it in pregame, the quick rhythm right there. Get down, get set, snap the ball, and go.
Should be 14-7 pending the try from Nicky Quevedo. Kick is up, kick is good. 14-7's our score. So a big return. Kobe Stevens able to fake out the NSU return defense alongside Dev Matthews, and then after that, Jet Huff once again comes up big. For 60 seconds, we'll pause on Lakes Country 102.1 and the MIAA Network. We'll be back. It's their honor to serve the Tahlequah Fort Gibson communities where smart pets take their people. Northeastern State, I know that defensively it's just early on been gut punch after gut punch, but offensively, you know, they had the quick score off some trickery, see how they respond after UCO retakes the lead.
And that's what we need to do here, get the football, get set, and score again, and just watch him up going down the field.
Cavedo to kick off, back to return Harris and Jay Caldwell. Caldwell's last return was minimal. He fields it from exactly the same spot at the 3. This time just cuts to the far side. He's brought down short of the 20, and what a stop there. Looked like getting in on the tackle. Hudson Grant, the linebacker, and Northeastern State once again having to snap the football, first time this drive, from within their own 20. It has been night and day when you look at the return defenses so far. 18-yard line is where he's officially spotted, so roughly a 15-yard return under Caldwell's average of about 20 this season.
I really thought he was going to break that one there, and a great job by Grant. Just great read, able to make the contact and stop him in his tracks.
It is worth mentioning that Malachi Brown, the Oxnard native, is starting in place of Bo Curry at left tackle. Dortch from the gun, design keeper. He takes it himself just past the line of scrimmage, gains a couple. So Dortch, you know, he's going to use his speed. That time he's able to gain, looks like, if he got to the 20, it's a 2-yard pickup, and yes, it is. So that brings us to 2nd and 8. Nothing fancy, but still a positive gain.
That's what you got to do. You got to keep switching it up, keep changing it up. Dortch showing he can run there and move the football. It's only a couple of yards, but 2nd and 8 is better than 2nd and 10.
Oh, absolutely. 2nd and 8. Dortch again from the gun. McKinney's his tailback. Dortch pocket, throws to McKinney, quick out to the 15, and he's able to advance it past the 20 to the 24. So another modest pickup, nothing fancy yet again, but trying to slowly develop the offense. And now 3rd and very manageable. Ball's at the 24, need to get it to the 28, so 3rd and 4 to go after roughly 4-yard pickup.
Nice little block out there in front too by Woods, giving him a little extra room to run on that short pass.
11 minutes to play in the opening quarter. NSU down 14-7. For the first time today, we see big Casey Riley as Dortch is lined up in the pistol with Riley behind him. 2 receivers lined out wide to the far side of the formation. Dortch claps his hands, and we get a whistle. There was some movement, no. Instead, timeout called by Coach Chev. NSU takes their first, and with that gives us a chance to shout out our friends over at Big Splash Car Wash. Take time out to get your car cleaned inside and out at Big Splash. Talk to them about their memberships that start at just $20 a month. Big Splash Car Wash, proud supporters of Northeastern State football. Lou, we'll go to you, and then I want to get the take of Sean down there if he's able to hear us. NSU, 3rd down. What are you thinking here with 4 yards? Pretty manageable.
I think they haven't gone up the middle yet. They've gone both ends, both sides, and the short passes are working. Stay with what's working for you. Don't try to push it up the middle. You don't want to get to a 4th and short. Keep going around the outside, the little short passes outside. Get the yardage the way you've been getting it.
All right, Sean, do you have anything to follow up on that with?
Well, with Casey Riley in there, you would think go north and south. We got to get the offensive line to get a push. I would not say go outside because they're pretty quick on the outside. So I say go straight up the middle and bang it out.
All right.
See who is going to muscle their way for a gain. NSU again needs 4 there on the pistol with Riley. I wouldn't be shocked if he gets it. And with Riley, you don't cut him outside. You just have him muster up the middle. Dortch claps his hands, hand off Riley. That's exactly no. Instead, fake. Dortch keeps it himself, throws to Cam Woods. Cam loses a blocker, gets past the 50 to the 40 on the other side. And Northeastern State with a big Whataburger first down. Sold the fake to Riley. And yeah, DJ down there, he's got his arms raised triumphantly. That's his boy.
Yeah. Hey, Solo, I'm going to say we were both right.
Northeastern State able to get the better of the UCO defense, and this is a solid Bronco D that on the season's one of the better teams in the conference at forcing incompletions. Northeastern State's able to convert off that 3rd down and 4. Dortch now with the ball at the 37-yard line snaps. He'll keep it himself again in the pocket. Cool as a cucumber, but has passed way too much mustard on it. Lands in the end zone. His intended target, Deuce Roberson, was around the 2 by the time it hit the turf.
And he had his defender beat, too. If that ball was just a little bit closer, that was an easy 6.
Just one of those throws you got to make in that situation. One thing I like about Darian right now, he's playing free. He always says that, you know, he plays good football when he's in a good mental state. And right now he doesn't look rattled. In fact, he looks very confident in what he's doing. Last week was 10 of 10, but that pass just not on point. Dortch snaps, quick throw out. Nice catch from Cam Woods from behind the line of scrimmage. He takes it up past the 30, and he's brought down a little bit short of the sticks, it looks like, so it'll take us to 3rd and short.
Nice little catch and go. The defender had to try to reach for that football to block it, and he's able to get 9 yards. You're going to have 3rd and short.
Danny Armstead enters, as well as Deuce. Taylor Atkins and Caldwell step off. You assume Armstead and Deuce better underneath threats. Riverhawks have it here, 3rd and 1. Need to get it to the 27. They've got it at the 28. Dortch has Cam Woods in the backfield with him. May need an extra blocker as Dortch just keeps it himself, fighting for extra yardage, but he is going to land well short of the line. In fact, he may have lost just a touch there. What do you do here? I feel like, you know what, 4 down territory, why not go for it? Troy wins range this season. He's 2 of 6, as long as 40. Looks like they're going to go to win, though. Perhaps Chev a little bit early in the game to be risking it like that. Ends up being 4th and 2. They'll kick from the 29, so if you want to do the math, this will be, about a 46-yard field goal for Troy. As I mentioned, 2 of 6 this season.
That's a smart play by the head coach. Get the 3 points on the board. They're certain of that rather than not being able to convert that 4th down.
Lined up middle hash. Thereabouts is Troy's kick. A low drive. It's up, and it is good. Troy wins season long as a Riverhawk. The true freshman punches through, and the Riverhawks get 3. Northeastern State, points on the board. I know that anytime a player steps on the field, they're thinking touchdown. I know you could maybe argue that's a win for the UCO defense, stuffing NSU on 3rd and short. But, hey, points are points in a game like this, particular maybe shootout. I'd consider it a win still for the Riverhawks.
Absolutely. A single stop by the Riverhawks against UCO and then a score with our offense, and it's just the reverse. UCO will be looking behind the numbers.
UCO, a team that enters today off of a 48-20 win over Northwest Missouri, and previous week was 59-24 over Missouri Southern. The closest final score this season for this UCO team, 15-point difference at Nebraska Kearney back on September 21st. It was 32-17. Still, though, UCO able to get a multi-score win over, I think, a pretty solid Lopers team. They're a lot better, looks like, than they were last year. They got a good defense.
And you got to remember last year, too, there's only a 16-point difference in the game, and we've got a new offense and a new head coach and a new drive with this NSU Riverhawk team this year.
Here's our Premier Pet Clinic kickoff after that last touchdown was brought to you by Whataburger. Crawford, the boot, and it will land in the end zone for a touchback. If I'm Tyler, just keep swinging for the fences on those kickoffs after the big return from Kobe Stevens. We see Jet Huff again as the offense steps onto the field. What do you expect from the NSU defense after they've gotten gouged pretty badly starting out?
Well, one thing they're going to do, and Sean Solo mentioned this too, they're going to have to close up that gap in the middle. Don't let them get another 75-yard touchdown run. Fill that gap. And, you know, whatever's happening on that offensive line, defensive line is just going to have to be tougher than they are and close those doors, close those open holes.
Now this offensive line for Central Oklahoma, one that has a All-MIAA right guard in Lee and also a couple of big tackles. Noah Dobson weighs in at 340, Matt Garner's 315. Nobody with quite that size on the defensive line right now for NSU. Snap taken by Huff in the pistol. Quick throw out to Delso. Pass is caught around the 32. And ball is loose, and they're going to blow the play dead. Delso had the catch, and he looked like he was able to gain 1 or 2 more yards after, and then the whistle right as the ball came out of his grasp.
And he stepped out of bounds before the ball got stripped loose, so that ball's going to be blown dead, and that's where he'll get the reception.
And it is a first down, ball at the 37 for UCO. Huff from the gun, scanning, looks to his left. Huff in trouble, loses the ball. And the Riverhawks, did they get on it? Looks like they did, yes. I see Alonzo Person, and you can change the possession arrow. Northeastern State takes the football, Jet Huff fumbling, and the Riverhawks short porch for them as they should have it around the UCO 35 plus territory for that offense.
Great defensive play to get back in there to where the quarterback is. It got to him and got him on the arm and the rest of the body before he ever got a chance to draw the ball back, and that ball came loose. He just couldn't get back to it. And number 5 for the Riverhawks comes up on top of it.
Yeah, Alonzo Person, he has been a workhorse since he's gotten starting reps in place of the injured Jordan Banks, has led the team in tackles in each of the last 2 games, has 30 on the season. But that's going to be one of his top plays, one certainly to go on the highlight reel. And now Northeastern a chance to have their first lead of the day with about 8 minutes to play in the first quarter.
You got your defensive stop. Now get your offensive score.
Ball at the 35. Again, this is a shorter field than what NSU's been used to today. Dortch from the gun, fakes a handoff, looking, has time in the pocket, tries to throw as it starts to collapse, gets to Ramon, right past the 30, and Ramon McKinney has himself a solid gain. Don't believe he got the first. Well,
yeah, he did. He got all the way to
did.
the 25.
Yeah, so exactly a 10-yard gain, moves the sticks for a Whataburger first down. Been a plenty of those to start out with, and it's going to make me hungry once we get further on in the ball game if this keeps up.
Double cheese with bacon, please.
Absolutely. I did a double meat last night from Whataburger. Definitely at the spot for a late night research binge on this matchup right here. Dortch in the gun, ball at the 25. They're 5 yards out of the red zone. Roberson in motion. Riverhawks handoff up the middle. They go Ramon to the 10 near side, and they grab him from his neck, Kobe Stevens, and that just prevented a touchdown. Ramon brought down inside the 10 and looked like inside the 5 as well. They're going to spot him around the 3. Still a great pickup, and Stevens, last gasp, got him from behind and kept 6 off the board for now.
Exactly, for now. The way they're running right now, the way they're playing right now, and we're going to get Riley back in there on the field. Opportunity to punch one, as Sean Solo said, right up the middle and right in their face and get in the end zone and score and take the lead in this thing.
Red zone brought to you by Christie Scrub Shop, Pulse of Medical Fashion, Green Country. Roberson, the quarterback, keeps it himself, cuts inside, looks to be very slight pickup, maybe one if anything. About 6.5 minutes to play in the opening quarter. Again, it's still very early, folks, but NSU, I mean, let's be honest here. If you're outside of Tahlequah, a lot of folks had UCO just dominating this ballgame. I don't think people expected NSU to just be right there punching them like this on the offensive side, but the Riverhawks are doing it.
New head coach, new offense, new plans. It's working. They got a huge win last week, and they're coming off that momentum and carrying it into tonight's game so far. We just need to keep going.
Ball at the 3. 3 men in the backfield. McKinney, Woods, Riley, Roberson in motion. From left to right, McKinney keeps it, and he cuts up. Near side, did he break the plan? And doesn't look like he did. Brought down, again, last gasp, Kobe Stevens.
Close to being a horse collar right there.
I mean, there have been twice now they've come really close to that, Kobe Stevens. If it works, it works. Twice he saved a touchdown with that type of grab. Darian Dortch will enter. Meanwhile, a trio of big men will make their way into the ball game for UCO. They want some size up there. They know NSU's probably going to try to run up the middle. If I'm seeing Casey Riley, I wouldn't be shocked if he's a factor in this play somehow. The 3 in the backfield are Dortch.
3rd and goal from the 1. Here we go.
Riley and Woods, 2 receivers out wide. They send Cam out wide. What are they going to do here? Dortch keeps it. Into the end zone he goes, and he scores. Touchdown, Northeastern State. The Riverhawks on top of the 11th ranked team in the land. Put it on the board.
6 more. I love the sound of 20-14. You know what I like better? 21-14.
Northeastern State able to make their way onto the board yet again.
Actually, I said 20. It's 16.
Hey, lead's a lead. I'll take it nonetheless.
I'll take it.
And we're not even 10 minutes in and already pinning this extra point, 31 points on the board. Obviously, Wynn's got to make it. But that last touchdown brought to you by Whataburger. Troy just knocked down a few minutes ago a 46-yard field goal, his best on the season. And that is a much-needed make for Troy as he has struggled from outside of 30 entering this afternoon. Wynn's kick is up.
That's good.
Splits through, and it's good. 17-14 is our score. Northeastern State, you love to see it. Riverhawks on top by 3. And again, still very, very early. And you know that Jet Huff, anytime he touches the football, he's looking to take it to the house. But stripped him, fumble, recovered by Alonzo Person. Riverhawk offense able to do the rest. No big mistakes, no errors. We haven't seen penalties, knock on wood, be a part of this thing yet either. Right now, Riverhawks being the hammer really since that opening score from Jalen Cottrell on their first play from scrimmage.
Exactly what we were talking about earlier. Get the defense out there. Get the stop you need. They did move the ball down the field, a series of plays, moving the chains, get down in there to your 1st and goal, and just keep working it until you can pound it in, and a stand-up touchdown for the quarterback, Dortch.
Also want to shout out our friends at Archer Cleaners. All NSU turnovers brought to you by Archer Cleaners in Tahlequah. Also want to shout out Premier Pet Clinic, our official kickoff sponsors. They're honored to serve the Tahlequah and Fort Gibson communities where smart pets take their people. Tyler Crawford to kick off, the former Broken Arrow Tiger and all MIAA punter. Hasn't had a punt yet. Again, knock on wood. A little over 5 minutes to play, 17-14 Riverhawks. This kick goes deep into the end zone. And again, I love what Crawford's doing. Swing for the fences, another touchback, and this will set up UCO at the 25. If Sean's got a copy, we'll take it down to him as he gives us his take on that last drive.
Well, in practice, so you're going to see this wrinkle. They call it either hippo or giraffe. So you've got two backs on either side of Dortch, and so you're going to see that. That's where they're opening up some of these plays, and we're +1 on the turnovers.
Yeah.
You want to see that. Win the turnover battle. We mentioned that in pregame. That's going to be key. Huff takes a snap. Quick screen pass out to the far side. Pass is completed, but minimal pickup. You mentioned there, Lou. Great read from Northeastern State. The pass was caught that time by number 13, Christian Romero. You know who hasn't been a factor yet is Terrell Davis. He had 15 catches last week, breaking his own school record from earlier on in the campaign, but I don't believe he's caught a pass yet.
And Alonzo Person, number 5, great read by him on that play.
He's already been involved today recovering that last fumble. Meanwhile, UCO goes ground from the 29 after the 3-yard gain, and it looks like they're able to pick up 1. They're going to give them 2. So to the 31, they need to get it to the 35 to move the sticks. This third down's brought to you by Archer Cleaners. Trips out to the right side. That's the wide into the formation. Pass completed to Delso, but what a read there as NSU was on top of him.
They're going to get a favorable placement of the ball here right at the 35. That's enough to move the chains. That's where he made the catch. It got the impact, landed back at the 33.
That was Clavon Kane on the tackle. Yeah, I thought that was a very generous spot. I didn't think he got there, but officials have the better view, and they saw it differently. Handoff goes. No, instead Huff keeps it himself, and nice fake as he takes the old patented quarterback slide short of the sticks, but still a nice gain. It looks like he's able to get about 6 to the 41.
Yeah, he finished his slide for an extra 3 yards, but they're going to get him from the spot where he went down.
You like that, though, if you're a quarterback. See if you can get the extra yardage out of it.
Yeah.
4 receivers lined out wide, 2 on each side. Huff with the snap. Huff in trouble. He's got to move ahead, loses his feet, and he's brought down for a loss. Had Clavon Kane involved. Also see Marquez Chapman in the backfield. Jarvion Williams.
Just tripped over his own player back there. He planted 1 foot. 1 foot came out from one of his other players as they were battling back there and hooked him up, and he went down. It happens.
Ball at the 40, need to get to the 45. This third down's brought to you by Archer Cleaners. I believe Clavon Kane, the one they credit with the tackle, is got about 3 minutes, 20 seconds left in the opening quarter, and boy, has it been very eventful. Trips out wide to the left side. Riverhawks send a man off the edge. Some time, though, for Huff. Pass, no! Instead, it skates through the fingertips of Terrell Davis, and that brings up 4th down. Davis was open. The throw wasn't great from Huff, and that incompletion brings out the punt team.
Also, we had a defender real close to that. We could have got a pick out of that, but it was just thrown a little wide from not only the receiver, but also the defender.
And Huff, a guy who completes roughly 3/4 of his passes, entered today 150 of 201. Top passer in efficiency in Division II this season, but that time a misfire. Riverhawks happy to see it. They'll punt from their own 40. If Davis had made that catch, they would have firmly. Oh, the kick is blocked. Riverhawks got to get back there. That's LeKendrick Holmes with a chance. Goes into the end zone. Holmes looking to pick it up. Riverhawks fighting for it, and they've got the score.
Touchdown.
Special teams block punt. LeKendrick Holmes. Looks like the second straight week he's gotten involved on a touchdown. And also there, Caden Kelly, Riverhawks up by multiple scores, and they got right back to him, sent the dogs, and the punt defense wins out.
What a block to get one big hand up in the air, bat that ball up in the air. It bounces back at about the 15, but takes a Riverhawk bounce. Somebody else touches it, and next thing you know, it's in the end zone. All you got to do is dive on it, and another 6 for the Riverhawks.
I was nervous there for a second because it looked like 2 different guys were trying to dive on the football. Don't let this sucker roll into the back of the end zone. Got to get on top of it, but NSU does. And the team wearing the black jerseys today looking to go up 10 points with the kick from Troy Wynn. A little under 3 minutes to play. This is a low kick, and Extra point is no good. First missed extra point from Troy win this season, but NSU still up by 9. Multi-score lead for NSU, and I'll take it nonetheless. Riverhawks, as of now, booming with just under 3 minutes left in the opening quarter.
22-14. Who'd have thought we've had that kind of score out of this game in the first quarter of play? Absolutely amazing.
NSU once again coming out strong. The big question, can it be sustained throughout the course of this ball game? But you know what? I think right now NSU, they're going to be happy with the lead that they have. Look at some of the numbers right now for both sides. Northeastern State offensively, 140 yards passing as well as 33 on the ground, and give them 173 total on 15 plays. They average just under 0.2 yards a play compared to UCO, 11.7 to NSU's 11.5. UCO less plays of offense, 11, but they've got 129 yards total. 44 through the air. Jet Huff 4 of 5. Dortch is 7 of 8. 85 yards on the ground, but 75 came from the team's first run to Jalen Cottrell as he took it to the house on their first play from scrimmage. Northeastern State kickoff coming up, brought to you by Premier Pet Clinic. Goodness gracious, 37 points on the board, and we're not even 13 minutes in.
And the Riverhawks still jumping up and down on the sidelines. They are pumped up, fired up about this game now.
Love the energy. UCO, they've got to look in the mirror now, and some miscues, a block punt, fumble from Huff, another touchback from Crawford. UCO, they have not a lot of momentum going their way, but they have the playmakers to where it can shift on a dime. And I'm sure that offense may be pointing fingers at themselves, because if they didn't have to send out the punt team, that block punt does not happen.
Right.
And again, you talk about every throw being crucial. Jet Huff, if his pass to Terrell Davis was on the money, again, they've got it firmly in plus territory, and they're looking to take the lead. Instead, again, you send out the punter, Grayson Miller, and then the worst happens.
Yeah, and then that defense there doing the job with the 3 and out, making them punt it away and getting the tip.
We'll see how UCO responds. Huff, hands off, goes to Cottrell. He's looking for another big run. He gets the first at least, past the 35 to around the 40. So they move the sticks, and that's one thing you can say about UCO's offense. They've done a pretty good job at consistently finding first downs outside of that one drive.
Aiden Guess with the initial hit out there just to slow him down. This pass is going to go incomplete here, but that was just a great read on that last play, but he's still able to dig and get a little extra.
Pass incomplete, was intended that time for Ashton Schumann. Broken up, Jordan Richburg getting involved. Richburg has been one of the team's best options defending in coverage this season, and 2 interceptions in the opener against Mo West back in August. 2nd and 10 for Northeastern State. Inside handoff to William Mason. Mason only going to pick up 2, maybe 3, and this will take us to 3rd down. 3rd down's brought to you by Archer Cleaners.
Picked up 3 on that there, and they had to blow the play dead. I mean, he's wrapped up, completely engulfed in the black jerseys with the NSU Riverhawks.
Ball at the 43, 3rd and 7. Interesting thing for William Mason, he has more carries on the season than Jalen Cottrell, and he ran for 133 yards against UNK a few weeks ago. Huff has time in the pocket on 3rd, rolls to his left. He's just going to have to tuck and run. Penny Masiva, the lone man to beat to the sticks, and Huff is able to lay out. Looks like he's got the first, and that's a situation where Huff was just able to outduel Penny Masiva right there, and that's a great player making a great play.
Yeah, and a good job getting there on the defense to stop him, trip him up. He dove. The ball actually made it to the 49, but the knee went down at about the midfield, enough to move the chains.
Yeah, they'll snap from the 50, hand off, goes again to Mason, tripped up, and Penny Masiva again involved on the tackle. Penny Masiva, one of those guys that, again, seeing some more playing time with some injuries on the defensive front. He's got 9 tackles on the season, all of which have come in October. Takes us now.
Good job. Good read.
Yeah, 2nd and 7. Ball at the NSU 47. UCO slowly but surely driving. Huff now looking to throw. Pass is deflected by Jarvion Williams. It was a forward pass, so they're going to rule it incomplete. But Jarvion Williams was right there, and if he didn't let that sucker go,
he was coming.
Yeah, it was going to be another fumble.
That was just a great job. Williams just able to read it, dove through the line. It was wide open and got to the quarterback, batted the ball up in the air. But again, forward pass, as soon as it hit the ground, it's an incomplete shot.
Jarvion Williams, 5 tackles for loss this season, 1.5 sacks. His tackles for loss, the best on the team.
Need a stop here.
Huff looking to throw, 3rd down. Breaks one defender loose, and he's going to have to run it himself. Brought down
Short.
Yeah, he's short of the first by about 2 yards. Need to get to the 40. He's down around the 42. And if I'm UCO, again, I'm the type of guy, and it's easy to say this from up at the press box, but I'd be aggressive and go for it. And it looks like that's what UCO plans to do. Quickly back to the line, a minute to go in the first. Broncos down 23-14. Handoff to Cottrell. Cottrell, one man. It's Hagen Foreman, and he's able to stop him short of the sticks. Northeastern State defense gets the win. Hagen Foreman, the California native, steps up, makes the play.
What a big defensive stand right there for 2 yards, and able to get one of them. A big hit. He tried to spin off of him, and he had some assistants come in, make the tackle, move the chains, go the other way. 1st and 10, Riverhawks.
And you talk about Foreman, his stock has continued to rise. He's consistently seen reps. Entered today with 26 tackles, which is one of the better marks on the team. Also has a pass breakup to his name. First season with the program, but expect him to be a valuable part of the defense the rest of the way in 2024. Riverhawks out here with about 55 seconds left in the opening quarter, up 23-14. Another score really blows things into their favor. Dortch snaps, looking, trying to take another stab downfield. Ramon McKinney passes caught, just past the 40 on the other side, and he's out around the 35. That takes us to another Whataburger first down.
Nice little contact out there by the defense. He had to back off and put his hands up, and he was able to step away from him and just pull that ball in.
Clock keeps running. Riverhawks have to, I think, run one more play. Yes, about a 2 or 3 second difference between the play clock and the game clock. Blake May enters. Dortch is out there. So is Roberson, Jay Caldwell. McKinney steps off. Dedrick Taylor-Atkins, Cam Woods, 2 of the team's great vertical threats. Wouldn't be shocked maybe if they do take another stab downfield, one of those guys. Dortch working with 11 seconds. Could be the last play of the quarter. In fact, probably will. Fakes handoff to May. Has a little bit of pressure. Going deep. In zone. And it slips through Deuce's fingertips. Good throw. Maybe a little bit out there, but Deuce unable to make the grab inside the end zone. 1 second left, so Riverhawks will have to run one more play.
Just a great throw, just a little bit too long, but an opportunity here. They can still maybe go for it again, get to the end zone. 2nd and 10, but with 1 second in the first quarter, you can still put some more points on here before you take the second quarter here.
Riverhawks looking for another good play before they take a break. Ball at the UCO 35, firmly in plus territory. Only a few yards out of the range now. Troy Wynn, quick flip to Cam Woods. Woods loses the football.
Gets right back to it.
Yeah, I got a pile. Looks like he was able to immediately bring it back, and this is going to be a pickup of roughly 4. 3rd down coming up when we start the second quarter. Riverhawks, they're on the winning side of this opening stanza. 37 points total scored. NSU with 23. They lead 23-14 against Central Oklahoma. The second quarter presented to you by Springwater Lawn Care. Coming up next, we'll step aside on Lakes Country 102.1 and the MIAA network. 3rd down and roughly 6 to go. Ramon McKinney, the quarterback, keeps it himself, pushes out, far side, and he's got the first. First down's presented to you by Whataburger. Open 24 hours a day, and you know what? Ramon McKinney's so much fun to watch. I could watch him run 24 hours a day.
I know, just a nice play, moving to the outside. Both lead blockers, the backs in the backfield, able to give him that lead block. He's able to move the chains down inside to the 24-yard line, 1st and 10 Riverhawks.
Northeastern State, just a few yards outside of the Christie Scrub Shop red zone. Dortch in the gun, ball at the 24-yard line. It looked like we got maybe a slight jump from a UCO defender. Still going, 13 seconds on the play clock. About 14 and a half minutes left in the second quarter of play. Get to some of the numbers from the first quarter in a second. Dortch has time after the faked handoff. No, the pocket breaks down quickly. One of the men involved was Jack Puckett, a man that Sean Solo had mentioned in pregame as part of Inside the Sports Nest as a real impact player for that team. Entered today with a sack and now adds to it. A man who won 4 state titles under Lauren Montgomery, an NSU alum at Bixby, and he makes a big play against Dortch.
Backs him up back to about the 31-yard line. Got to get down to the 14 for a first down, so we got a 2nd and long here.
A 2nd and very long, ball at the 31. It ends up being a loss of about 7. Dortch out of the gun, snaps after they send McKinney in motion. Quick screen pass, goes to Cam Woods. This play scored him last week against Lincoln, but this is going to be far from it. Still a good game, positive pickup. They'll be short of where they started this set of downs, as it takes us to 3rd and about 12.
Picked up about 6. We were at 2nd and 18.
So Dortch working with third down. Riverhawks in the opening quarter, 202 yards of offense, 169 from Darian Dortch through the air as he was 9 of his first 11. It's Dortch and McKinney in the backfield. Trips out wide to the right, and we got some movement. Flag comes out. Flag's brought to you by Super Spray Car Wash.
I had to mention we were flagless, didn't I?
It's the Castor curse. It's a false start against the offense. Looked like it was Malachi Brown. And I do want to get the take of Sean at some point, what he thinks of how Malachi's doing down there in the trenches, getting the spot at left tackle. A lot of folks would argue left tackle, most important position on that offensive line because in many cases you're protecting the quarterback's blind side. Usually that's where the most skilled athletic pass protector goes. But that time a miscue for Malachi, the Oxnard native, and it takes us to, again, third and pretty long. Push them back 5 yards to the 31. Dortch got to go to the air. Scanning. Out of time. In trouble. And he has to throw ahead. Has the intended target, but lands well short of him on the ground. The ball goes several yards behind Dedrick Taylor-Atkins, and it takes us to fourth. Do they send out Troy Wynn? Yes. Troy just hit from 46 earlier, and this one's from roughly the same distance. You may want to add another yard or two onto that. See where they snap it from. The hold from Deuce is going to be right at the 39, so you want to add 10 to that, and it makes it a 49-yard try. This would be impressive from Troy if he knocks it down.
And he's got the wind with him on this kick.
Ball will be snapped left hash. Troy 3 of 7 on the season. Kick there, it's up. Had a man almost ready to block. And it looks like it is good. Good reaction from the fans over there at the VIP section. Troy Wynn today, business booming. He matches his total from entering this afternoon. He had 2 field goals going in, and now he's got 2, both from long distance. 46 and now 49. Troy Wynn, maybe you can make a case outside of Dortch. Some of those guys on offense, he's been player of the game. Northeastern State ups their lead to 12, 26-14 our score.
We haven't punted away once.
About to kick after the kickoff will go down to DJ Sean Solo.
You mentioned Malachi Brown. I've been watching him. He's been holding that left side. I was curious who was going to take Bo Curry's spot, but Malachi is holding his own. And also Troy Wynn, he is cool, calm, collective out there. He's nailing them.
Crawford with the kickoff. Troy Wynn, he's now got field goals from 49 and 46 today. This is a shorter kick fielded at the 19, taken to about the 30. On the return that time, number 11, Hagen Hacker. As Northeastern State, they've got the advantage, and that's what you want to see if you're the Riverhawks, up by 12. And first we'll get your take, Sean. I know from just the standpoint of the lead, going from 9 to 12 doesn't do a whole lot because 2 touchdowns still gives UCO the edge. But, hey, it's points, and you want to set that standard if we score every time we touch the football.
Yes, you've got to come away with points. You don't want to come up empty-handed against the Bronchos at all.
Northeastern State going up against Central Oklahoma right here. Get your take on that same question, Lou, after this play. Huff to snap from the gun. Throws out wide on the screen. Pass is caught. Taken to about the 40. Pushed out of bounds, and looks like it's going to be enough to move the sticks. Looks like.
Yeah, he just got to the outside and got that extra yard or two and got pushed out of bounds. They really do have a quick offense here.
Yeah, they mark him a yard short, 2nd and 1 at the 39. Quick throw back out again. The same guy catching a pass both times, Christian Romero, and that will move the sticks for any doubters from the last play. So first down, UCO. Lou, what's your thoughts, again, going back to, 9 to 12 doesn't do a whole lot, but still it's points on the board.
Absolutely. If you've got 2 field goals, that's 6 points. I mean, but we've missed 1 extra point attempt, but we're still up there to 26-14, and this is working.
Huff in trouble, has to go to the ground, gets back up. The man involved that time was Aiden Guess.
Well, once he went down, though, that was a dead play right there. So they'll mark him down from the loss. So he's going to be looking at like a 3rd and about 19 here. But going back to your question, too, I think everything in that first quarter was absolutely perfect football for the NSU Riverhawks. Getting the stop, we're +1 on the turnovers. We got a block punt and able to score on that. And every offensive drive we've got points on the board for it.
Ball at the 37. Huff with a lot of time in the pocket rolls to his left as it starts to collapse. Forced out of bounds just around the 40, near side, and Huff, they got to get him out of there as he rolls into enemy territory, the NSU sideline.
And how about the secondary right there? Nobody open. He had to finally tuck that ball in and try to run it and get some yardage back. He got 3 or 4, but it's still looking at a long yardage just to get to a first down.
3rd and 15. Our third down's brought to you by Archer Cleaners, a man who's been a non-factor today, Terrell Davis. 1 target, no catches. Huff looking to throw, taking it to Davis, got him open, right around the 30 on the other side, pass is caught. Slip through Holmes, Hagan Foreman the one to take him down, so a big pickup, and they'll officially mark him down at the NSU 31. Terrell Davis, just drop of a hat.
Perfect strike right there, right in the numbers, jumped up in the air, caught it, landed, and was hit as soon as he caught that football.
Trips out wide to the right. Huff immediately looks to throw, bobbled, and almost
picked.
Yeah, that was intended for Dominic Dunn, who scored earlier in this one. Tight end standing at 6'3", 210. His 13th catch of the campaign went to the house. Huff working with 2nd and 10. After
another one of those.
Absolutely. Team picked up on a big 3rd down just a play ago. Huff has got 3 receivers bunched up all along the UCO sideline. Instead, they go handoff to Jalen Cottrell, brought down by Jarvion Williams. Don't think he was able to gain anything there, and it takes us to 3rd down again.
Jarvion Williams came from the left side of that line, followed the quarterback and the handoff, and stayed with it until he caught up to him on the left side of the backfield and behind the line, and it make that tackle.
Can NSU hold firm on this 3rd down? Huff going, passes off target, intended that time for his tight end, Logan Grayson, Grayson a receiver, but still unable to convert, and it brings us to 4th. Now, this is certainly within the range of Nicky Quevedo's long on the season, 47. He's 6 of 8, and it's one of the reigning MIAA athletes of the week.
And we talked about that with the Riverhawks. You're not getting past the defense here. You're not moving the football. You're not moving the chains. Try to put one in the air and put it to the uprights and walk away on this offensive drive with 3.
His 9th attempt of the season matches a season long of 47. Can he do it? This makes the field goal from 49 just a second ago even bigger, as punch counter punch doesn't do much, but I don't think he got there. No, missed it right.
Missed it to the right. Wow.
So Riverhawk defense wins again, and that's a kick that if you're UCO, just from the standpoint of having the mental edge still, need to get that. But Quevedo, we mentioned that, Wynn was kicking with the wind on that side. Other side, seems like it bit him a little bit.
And I don't think he got too far to the right, just enough to be outside that upright on that right-hand side. I saw the flag move as it went by, the little orange flag up there, so he might have just barely missed that pole. But it's still outside of it. Turn it over on downs, give it back to the Riverhawks. Let's go offense.
Well, certainly that kick had hang time. The leg was there, but again, just off to the right. Hand off to McKinney. He cuts from inside to out. Near end, and he's pushed out after a pickup of maybe 1. Ramon McKinney forced out, involved on that play, number 24, David Williams. Also see involved, number 16, J.K. Moore, a duo of DBs who have combined for 3 interceptions this season.
Forward progress, we'll give him 1. They're looking at a 2nd and 9 here. Just great job by the defense, number 16, to follow him all the way to the sidelines and bunt him out of bounds.
Ball at the 31 with about 9.5 to go in the 2nd quarter. Dortch out of the shotgun. Scanning, middle of the field, goes, passes caught around the 45, and he'll take it for a couple more yards. Dedrick Taylor Atkins, the man to make the grab.
Perfect strike. He was wide open there, had the defender beat, just cut to the inside of him. You're standing there waiting for a football.
Whataburger first down. Ball is at the NSU 47. Very close to the plus side of the field. McKinney's in the backfield with Dortch. Deuce in motion. Handoff goes to Deuce. Near side, he kicks it up and gains 2 to the 49. Brought down, it takes us a 2nd and 8. Blake May enters the contest. Haven't seen him a lot today, but this is the same team he ran for 149 yards on last year. Was his best on the season, and as of now is his best in a single game as a Riverhawk.
Just took that out to the left-hand side. Wanted to get to the corner, but it kind of closed on that door. Just turned it upfield. Still picked up 3. 2nd and 7.
Dortch Hand off to Mayno, flips it back to Darien, a little bit more trickery. Dortch running out of time, though, facing pressure, and he just has to take a dive. Behind the line of scrimmage he goes, and well back, too. This looks to be a loss of about 4.
I think as he got kind of pushed to the outside there, he tried to turn back upfield, and when he planted that right foot, it just kind of slipped a little bit on the AstroTurf and went out from underneath of him.
Ball at the 46, 3rd down and long, and
we can make it.
See if they can test the arm of Dortch. On the season entering today, Riverhawks 30 of 84 on third, good for just under 36%. UCO just under 50% at 35 of 71. Again, this is entering today. Fake handoff to Riley. Dortch looking to throw beyond the first down marker. Pass is caught on the far side up near the UCO sideline. Deuce Roberson makes the play.
Just nicely done. Actually, Deuce just kind of took off down the field, made the defender turn the afterburners on, and then he just checked up and turned around and the ball was there. Get yourself clear, get the catch, get out of bounds. 1st and 10, Riverhawks.
Whataburger first down. Xavier Williams enters the contest for Deuce. He'll get a well-deserved breather, I think, right here as Northeastern State sets up at the UCO 40. Dortch the lone man. Well, now they're going to bump Riley back next to him. Riley fakes handoff.
Down the sidelines.
Cam Woods caught at the 15 to the 10, the 5, and he's just going to miss the chance to strike Pater, but another big gain after the faked handoff from Dortch to Riley, going deep to Cam Woods. Cam, another big play, and it just feels like he is a totally different animal when he comes into Doc Wadley Stadium. Another big catch for the 8-8.
The big key to that play right there was when they switched Riley from the line back there with Dortch, and the defense shifted just a little bit. And we got a man wide open down the sidelines on that play. 1st and goal from the 5. Chance to punch it in here.
Absolutely. Riverhawks up by 12, and we'll see if they want to do something with Ramon. Dortch is not on the field. Ramon McKinney effectively playing quarterback. And again, you know it's going to be a run. They haven't thrown it with McKinney this season. McKinney on the design keeper, up the gut. And he's going to have maybe a gain of 1 or 2, a big pile, and he had no chance once that massive humanity formed right there along the line.
They blew this dead before they fell forward on that play. So that's going to be from about the 3, maybe a foot away from the 3-yard line. Closer to the 4 is where they're going to place the football, but still 2nd and goal.
Dortch comes back in, and again, if I'm a defensive coordinator or if I'm a linebacker and I see Ramon back there behind the center, I mean, you got to expect run there. And, I mean, they read it like a book, collapsed the line, and there was no room for him to work with. Ramon, meanwhile, goes out wide, send him in motion. Dortch takes a snap from the gun, looking, goes deep, end zone. And this was going to be a high jump ball for Jake Caldwell to try to catch, but Caldwell unable to make the grab. Lands out of bounds, and it takes us to 3rd down and goal.
Ball was actually thrown a little bit long. He had to jump up and to the right. Even if he could have caught that, he probably couldn't have come down inside the end zone.
And I like the thought from Dortch, because if he's going to stick it up there, why not?
Yeah.
You know, the only man with a chance needs to be your own guy.
Yeah,
and
hanging high.
Yeah, I don't dislike that, because they only have 3 yards to gain here before the score. Actually 4 if you want to be official. Dortch and McKinney are the backfield. Deuce scampers around in motion. Dortch rolls to his right, looking for somebody, a crack of daylight, and instead he's out of time. Drug out of bounds by Hunter Largent, and now NSU in a tough spot. Do you kick the field goal to go up by 15, perhaps? Or do you want to?
For it.
Yeah, I'd test him here. Why not?
Everything else is working for you. They're expecting you to come out there and kick it away. Punch it in for 2.5, 3 yards. 4th and goal. That's like slamming the door in UCO's face, saying, "Yeah, we can get it. We're going to go for it on 4th down and 3 at the goal line and get this."
Timeout called. Riverhawks were going to go with a little more trickery right here on a swinging gate, and UCO takes a timeout, their first of the half. And I like the timeout here from the Broncos. NSU, they were going to snap that football, and they're going to try to catch him in a bad spot. So smart one there from Doral. His defensive coordinator is Cody Swanson. His co-DC is Thomas Pearson. Timeouts brought to you by Big Splash Car Wash. Take time to get your car wash inside and out at Big Splash.
We're going to be there next week, broadcasting live, actually in 2 weeks, on the 9th of November. It's going to be fun.
Absolutely. Make sure to talk to Big Splash about their memberships as well that start at $20 a month. Northeastern State timeout called here with a little over 5 minutes to play. Also want to shout out some of our other sponsors, Larson Dietetics, as Larson Dietetics, our official special team sponsor, Utiki and the Beast, Tahlequah Family Vision Clinic, Whataburger. And also want to shout out the partners of Lakes Country 102.1, Edward Jones and Wyman's. We'll pause for 10 seconds for station identification. Big spot here. Do you come back out with a special teams unit on 4th down and about 3, or do you try to punch it in once again?
I'm going to go with try to score the touchdown. You're up a little bit. It's 26-14. You've got a little over 5 minutes to play here in the first half. What does it say to the opposing team that, hey, I'm 4th down and 3 from the 4th and goal from the 3, if you will, to come out there and say, all right, we're going to try to punch this in here. If you don't make it, they're deep in their own territory.
Riverhawks going with offense. Dortch out of the shotgun. Casey Riley's lined up to his left. Got 2 receivers on the wide side of the formation. Dortch throws, end zone, deuce, pass, caught, touchdown, Riverhawks.
Boom, there it is.
Northeastern State making it into the 30s, and we're not even to halftime. Goodness gracious.
That's going to be the statement play of the game right there. Do you go for it on a 4th and goal from the 3? The answer with the Riverhawks is yes.
And at some point you got to wonder how much of a lead is too big for UCO.
I'm not going to go there because I will say this: the Riverhawks, they need to be that 4th quarter team and stick around at the end of the game. And a few times this year we've had teams come back on us. We need to get up as high as we can before we get to that 4th quarter.
UCO player goes down. It looks like, could be wrong here, but it's Stevens. So he'll be checked on by the trainers. Just went down with the snap of a finger, but we'll step aside for 30 seconds on Lakes Country 102.1. Well, no. Stay here, Will.
I think he had a cramp in the left leg.
I guess.
Hydrate just a little bit, fella.
Pickle juice. Pickle juice is the key, my man.
Yes.
Northeastern State. About 5 minutes left to go in the opening half with the score officials talking things over after the brief injury intermission. I mean, Northeastern State, this is a very significant performance from that group as that touchdown takes them to 32-14, pinning the kick, and SU can be up by 19. Again, UCO, you know how they are. Top offense in the country in many statistical categories, definitely in the MIAA. They average 52.8 points a game. The next most is right at 36 to Central Missouri. So there's UCO, then there's everybody else.
Well, and then there's something else that's got to factor into this game. You're a little over 5 minutes away from going into the locker room and getting with your coaches, your defensive coordinators, offensive coordinators, and making your adjustments for the second half. The NSU Riverhawks doing everything just exactly right here, getting the points on the board on every offensive drive they've had. And they just need to keep pounding at the football, keep getting the stops, keep scoring. And the UCO, I never thought I'd say this coming into this game, they're playing catch-up behind the score.
And we'll see what type of football that breeds for them, but they have not faced, you'd guess, a quick challenge like this from a team. And I don't want to just assume that they underestimated NSU, but they got Pittsburgh State next week, and you know that if they're able to get a win here, an unbeaten UCO team taking on a top 10 PSU team, I mean, that's must-watch Division II football. We'll go down to Sean. He's wanting to talk.
So what I saw over here, they called a touchdown, but he didn't complete the process. So I'm afraid it's going to get going to get reversed because the ball did come out as he hit the ground. So it was a great play, a great catch, but I'm afraid they're going to reverse it.
Well, again, we've got the replay set up. There's a reason why there's a camera located right there within 10 yards of where he went down at. That was going to be a tough play. It was a great throw from Dortch, Deuce. I mean, I guess he didn't hang on. Is that what they're saying?
Yeah, I didn't hang on to the ball as he hit the ground. So, but the call in the field is a touchdown, so there's got to be obviously conclusive evidence. But, you know, the thing in the league is he completing the process as he goes down? But we'll see.
Well, that's a good point. You got everybody wearing the black shirts.
Here we go.
Raised.
Touchdown.
They're going to keep it. Ruling stands. Touchdown, Northeastern State. I had to shut off Sean right before he went nuts down there. I knew it was going to happen.
Sean has not come down yet. He jumped so high, he is still in the air.
He is going off down there.
He's lost his headphones, lost his microphones. But brother, we love you. We're laughing at you.
He's got to keep his voice a little bit because he's got a show tonight at Dwayne's about 5 miles from here.
I'm gonna go down there, have karaoke dance party. Be fun.
I know that Captain William Morgan's going to be down there.
So the touchdown will stand for the Riverhawks. Now we're going to put the extra point attempt through the uprights.
It is worth mentioning Troy Wynn missed his first PAT of the season just earlier on, but this one splits. It's good, 33-14. Riverhawks up by 19. If you're watching from Edmond, if you're watching from Oklahoma City, if you're watching from Green Country, and you're not one of those NSU Riverhawk faithfuls, you're probably a little bit shocked right now.
Oh,
Riverhawks up by 19. I love it. We'll step aside on Lakes Country 102.1 and the MIW. State up by 19. 5:05 left in the opening half. Riverhawks able to score off a touchdown pass from Dortch to Deuce was reviewed. The big question was ultimately
Did he keep control of the football when he got to that goal line? And it looked like that ball was coming out, but I think that what they're seeing is he got the ball and pulled it to him when he got to the ground and made contact. The ball came out. He was already in the end zone, so that's got to stand as a touchdown, right?
Yeah. I mean, that's one of those classic cases where if you're in Edmond, you're probably saying, no way was that a touchdown. If you're in Tahlequah, saying, heck yeah, it was.
Yeah, it was.
Tyler Crawford to kick off. Our kickoff's brought to you by Premier Pet Clinic. You mentioned it earlier over break, Lou, but NSU, they got to keep hammering. See how high they can get this score before you get to half, because you know that Doral and company, they're going to make adjustments, and they're probably going to be playing better football come the third and fourth quarters. Kick is fielded around the 19, handoff. They go. There's Dev Matthews, and, yeah.
Got away with one there.
Kicked out right around the 35 on the far end, and UCO will set up shop.
Number 8 had a hold back there. It just had the arm hooked around enough. Didn't have a fistful of jersey or anything like that, but just had that arm around hooked enough to hold him in place. Let him get a few more yards. That was at about the 28. When they got out to the 33, it'll be 1st and 10 there.
33-yard line. Minus territory for Central Oklahoma. Jet Huff and company. Backs firmly placed against the wall. What does that offense, perhaps the best in Division II, have to offer in this circumstance?
Blitz.
Handoff goes to Cottrell, as you mentioned, in SU blitz. Still a good gain, though, for Jalen, the UCO back, brought to the 40 for a pickup of at least 7, and they'll give him exactly 7. 2nd and 3.
Good job getting around that blitz to this near side of the field.
He is such an agile back, and they'll give it right there to him again. Why not? Takes one cut inside, has some room to the 50, to the 45 on the other end. He's just short there, so around the 46. And this is a guy here, Jalen Cottrell. He is fun to watch run. You wonder, film can only show so much, numbers can only show so much. 9 yards a carry thereabouts, and he is proving that, yes, very worthy of that statistical billing. Get a whistle off the snap from Huff, and he tried to go outside to his man.
I got a penalty marker on this side of the field at midfield. And I think this is going to be a false start.
Yep.
One thing I will mention, too, on the tackle there, especially when you're trying to tackle number 0, you've got to wrap up Cottrell by the legs. You can't grab him by the waist because he's going to spin move on you and break loose. Get him by those thighs, wrap him up. He can't run if he can't move his legs.
Yeah, you're going to have a helmet full of whatever they call them, turf pellets or something if you try to wrap at the waist. Huff, meanwhile, looks to go. Passes tipped, intercepted, and that is Dumbia.
At the 39-yard line. It went through the receiver's hands. That was a rope, and he just could not keep that ball in his hands, and it just kind of bounced out gingerly and right into the hands of one of the NSU players in the right spot at the right time.
And no return, really. May have gotten 1 yard off of it, but still, love it nonetheless. Riverhawks get another takeaway. Huff entered today with just 3 picks. Threw another one right there.
Another turnover.
Yeah. He fumbled one earlier. Riverhawks also blocked a punt, took it to the house. Ball is at their own 39. The offensive line for NSU right now, Malachi Brown, Alex Brown, Quentin Thomas. Riverhawks also have out there Amarian Warrior, Kason Badley. The big inactive today, Bo Curry.
And Sholo, if you're keeping score, we're +2 and a block punt.
4:05 to go in the opening half. Handoff to McKinney. McKinney streaks ahead past the 40, and he picks up at least 2, maybe 3. We'll see where they spot him at. They're going to put him at the 42, so pickup of 3 takes us to 2nd and 7. NSU needs to get it to the 49. Cam Woods enters, and it looks like Dortch will step off, so you know that A run is very likely to transpire unless they want to test the arm of McKinney for the first time this season.
Well, there's a couple other guys out there. I've already seen it tonight that can throw the football, or I should say this afternoon.
Yeah, Deuce had a throw earlier, but he doesn't look like he's out there right now. They do have lined out. Well, they do have Deuce out there, actually, so we could see him. He's lined out wide on the near side as well as Dedrick Taylor-Atkins. 3 men in the backfield. McKinney on a design keeper, though, inside. Cuts upward, and he gains something, but not a whole lot. It's going to take us to third down.
He picked up 3 on it, so now you're going to have a short 3rd and 4, which is good. I mean, they picked up 3 the first play, picked up 3 on the second. Now you just got to convert the next 4 yards on 3rd down.
Ball at their own 45, need to get it to the 49. Dortch is the quarterback. Skill positions, you got Deuce, Dedrick, Cam Woods, Jake Caldwell. Ramon McKinney's the back. You can tell it's him because he's got those very shiny, hot pink looking cleats or socks or something. Dortch takes the snap. He looks to his left, goes to Deuce, past the first down marker. Pass is caught, and it'll move the sticks for a Whataburger first down. Deuce, just that workhorse of this offense through the air, and it just seems time after time you let him slip through the cracks, he's going to make you pay.
Hits the ground and bounces out of bounds. The referee is not happy with the head coach is not happy with the referee keeping that clock going there, but he landed inbounds and rolled out of bounds.
It is worth mentioning that NSU will get the ball to start the second half. So Riverhawks, if they play their cards right, could have the last drive of the second quarter and the first of the third. Go 2 for 1. About 2 minutes to play, and Riverhawks will not snap the football before the 2-minute timeout. So with that, we'll step aside one final time on Lakes Country 102.1 and the MIAA Network. 2-minute timeout at Doc Wadley.
Are you taking a full 2 minutes for Ben or just a 1 minute timeout?
Those teams. So if you're NSU, this drive feels like must score. Flip it into 2 for 1, start the second half. Probably need to score there. And if you do that, you basically got the score we had from Emporia a few weeks ago. It'd be 47-14, assuming you get 2 made extra points. Then you can maybe sit there and say, okay, I'm a little more comfortable.
Exactly. It's 33-14 right now. If you can score a touchdown here, get the extra point, make it a 40-14 game. And on top of that, after halftime, you're going to get the ball back to start the second half.
Now, I'm going to save the snarky tweets and the ticker tape parade for once we get 000s in the fourth quarter. But right now, NSU looking pretty good. Need to lay their foot on the gas offensively. Dortch looking to go deep. First play off the 2-minute timeout. Pass is intercepted. Taken away. It looks like it was David Williams on the grab. He takes it forward to around the 30. And so you talk about Central Oklahoma. What's one of the first things that they need coming out of that break? Maybe a turnover to flip the field, and they get exactly that. They have a chance to score just under 2 minutes to go. Lots of time for Huff and this offense to cook.
David Williams on that pick. And, of course, number 2 was Robertson on the stop for the NSU Riverhawks out there. But yeah, the way our defense has been playing here in this first half, we can get another stop right here and prevent them from getting on the scoreboard. Still, I think we've got the time to make the stop here, get the ball back before we go to halftime.
That said, you talk about a momentum dagger. UCO turns around, scores here. I mean, that's exactly what the doctor ordered for the Broncos. Snap here coming for Central. Jet Huff looking to throw, rolls to his right. Has to make a little bit of a play himself, but still finds an open man and a completed pass. Looks like the intended target that time, believe it was number 5, Dominic Dunn.
What Dunn did is he started to go downfield, and then he just kind of backed up and kind of kept backing up like he was out of the play, and the defense kind of pulled off of him, and he stayed behind the line of scrimmage for that pass.
Jet Huff again, going to the air, passes pick. Penny Masiva to the 40, the 30, to the 25 in plus territory. Masiva brought down the second pick of the day, tossed by Jet Huff, his 3rd turnover in the first half alone. And with just over 90 seconds, NSU already in field goal range. Can they punch it through? If so, they've hit 40, assuming you get the made extra point in this first half against a UCO defense that historically over the last decade has gotten a lot better. Big time performance from this defense, though.
Great place to be. Great spot for Masiva. Just, pulled that ball in. Boom. Able to move down the field. Got great field position. And you were just talking about that dagger to stop that momentum for the NSU Riverhawks, and it's what UCO needed. That's exactly what the Riverhawks needed. With the intensity they're playing now, turn around and go back the other way.
The last time NSU has hit 40s, heck, even 30s against UCO was back when they beat them 2013 for the President's Cup. Last win they had in this series against Central Oklahoma.
Solo's got to love that. We're +3 now.
McKinney with the handoff from Dortch, and he picks up. Doesn't look like he did just about anything there. Went back to the line. Ball is at the 25 after the Masiva pick. Penny Masiva, my goodness, what a play from him.
Yep.
Northeastern State with about 1:15 left in the half. It's 33-14.
Jordan Richmond, number 4 on that last stop, right at the line of scrimmage, so you're looking at a 2nd and 10. And as I was saying a moment ago, we're +3 on turnovers, -1 on turnovers, and then you've got the block punt. Doing good this first half.
Northeastern State, once we get to half, we'll have the full statistical breakdown, but so far closing in on 300 yards of total offense. They've got 249 through the air. 287 total. McKinney into the red zone, breaks out to the far side, 10-5 touchdown. Ramon McKinney, Riverhawks up big right before we go to intermission, and McKinney put him on the board, hits pay dirt for a 2nd straight week at Doc Wadley.
What a great play that developed. He was supposed to turn upfield a little earlier, instead juked back to the left and went around that defender and the offensive line there on the end, and then had a wide shot to the outside, turn it upfield, no catching him.
39-14. The Riverhawks on top of number 11 ranked Broncos by 25. Need the kick here from Troy Wynn, but if NSU successful, they've got their 2nd straight week of at least 40 points. Wonder when the last time that happened. Kick is good, but we have a flag on the field.
Didn't I say 40-14 for halftime?
That would be pretty crazy. I mean,
there it is.
Talking about it, all hope for a second looked lost after you had the Dortch interception. Penalties against UCO, so it'll be declined. Looked like it was a lost cause for a second there, but drop of a dime. Penny Masiva picks off Jet Huff. That was just the
That's
5th
like the defensive play of the game now.
Yeah. Well, the thing with Huff, he's turned the ball over 3 times today. Entering today, he'd only thrown 3 picks against 20 touchdowns. This is the guy you talk about efficiency, and I know some folks don't put a whole lot of stock in QBR efficiency ratings, but if you do, he's your type of quarterback in D2. He's been the most efficient in Division II this season, transfer from Houston, and he picked apart Northwest Missouri last week, over 400 yards. But today, not been his day. Terrell Davis, 15 catches last week, broke a school record, his own school record, by the way. He's perhaps the best receiver in Division II football. Today, non-factor. Can that keep up into the second half? We'll see. My gut tells me UCO is going to be a lot better coming out of the tunnel in the second half. It's just a matter of can NSU offensively keep making those plays to make this lead just too much for UCO to overcome. And you wonder just what that magic number is. We don't know until we get 000s in the fourth quarter.
And my question here is, do you kick it deep and let them get out to the 25 and start, or do you kick it to someone, try to get them tackled, and let that clock run out and get into the locker room?
We'll see what the plan is for Crawford. This kick is brought to you by Premier Pet Clinic. Again, once we get to halftime, presented by Tahlequah Family Vision Clinic. Sean will be talking to Coach Chev, and we'll have the numbers breakdown in addition to River Rock Spotlight, presented by Butiki and the Beast. This kick goes to the 11. Again, they hand off. No, faked. Kobe Stevens looked like he was going to go to Dev Matthews like he did earlier, but this return, very minimal for Stevens. Fielded around the 11, and it goes down as a return of less than 10 yards as he falls short their own 20. Long field for UCO, under 40 seconds to play.
We're going to mark this ball at about the 18-yard line. Just a short little return. Faked like he was going to reverse it and go the other direction. Decided to keep it. A couple of good blocks by the special teams there, but we're able to get to him and get him wrapped up, taken down. So they'll start 1st and 10 from the 18.
I got about
39, I think it is, on the clock.
Yeah, Jet Huff looking to throw. Goes in front, batted away, yes. Wonder who wasn't on that one.
Number 50 for the Riverhawks.
Kendrick Janeel, then, if that's the case. I believe that actually might have been Jarvion Williams, number 90. Northeastern State gets us to 2nd and 10, 35 seconds to go. Riverhawks up 40-14. Last time, again, NSU even scored into the 30s was against UCO back in 2013. Beat them 45-38. Huff looking to throw again. Quick outlet pass. And able to set it up. It's completed, and Broncos will get the first.
Nice moves out there. Just caught that ball, started up the field, and a spin move around one of your own offensive linemen up front, and able to get more yards, move the chains.
Catch made by Terrell Davis. 25 seconds left in the half. Huff going deep. Pass is caught by Davis, but he's unable to make anything else after that as he loses his balance, his momentum. He goes down just short of the red zone on the other side. They're going to put him Well, no, they're going to say he got into the red zone as forward momentum, carrying him to the 19, 17 seconds, 16, and a River Rock goes down. So the trainers will attend to him. Northeastern State, we're not going to go to break as it looks like.
There's another leg cramp here. Get the pickle juice.
Yeah, get the pickle juice, guys.
I'd still say we have the time to get this stop here. 15 seconds on the clock? Is that what I'm seeing?
Yeah, at some point, though, I feel like UCO will want to trot out. I don't know, though. You trot out the field goal unit. I think you got to take as many stabs at the end zone as you realistically can.
Right.
UCO, again with Huff. We see it again with Terrell Davis. I mean, that's the connection if this team wants a chance in the second half. But expect them to spam it to them because if you score in your UCO, you get a stop to start the second half. I mean, really, it feels like you're right back in the ball game, and Chev and company know that.
Well, and the thing of it is here, what they're going to try to do is go for it on the 1st and 10 at the 19. And if they can get it in there, great. They might go for a second attempt, but if they have a few seconds left on the clock, they'll probably stop and try to kick it through for 3.
Let's look at the defensive personnel for NSU. Got Aiden Guest, Jarvion Williams, Jamar McKee, and the man of the hour defensively, Penny Masiba, who just picked off Jet Huff a few minutes ago. Alonzo Persons out there with Jordan Richburg, Dalton Crumley, the former Henderson State ready, Usman Doumbia, Caden Kelly, LaKedrick Holmes, and Hagan Foreman. Holmes took one to the house last week against Lincoln.
And it was Williams on that block pass just a little while ago in the backfield.
Jet Huff to snap from the gun. His back is Cottrell. Less than 20 seconds to play in the half. The Broncos have it in the red zone. Entering today, the Broncos 22 of 27 in the red zone, looking to go to the end zone against Richburg. Jump ball pass, looks like it was caught. Yes, touchdown Broncos. And you can credit that catch to Madison Ridgeway. Ridgeway score, and all of a sudden, Broncos get some momentum on their side.
Nice little design play to take it to the corner, launch it towards your player. He can jump up in the air, backing towards the end zone, make the catch, and backpedal in as hard as you can. And he gets in there.
13 seconds left. Beautiful pass from Huff to the far front corner of the end zone to Ridgeway. Ridgeway, someone who now has reached 100 yards plus on the season, receiving as the kick from Nicky Cavedo is good. He missed from 47 earlier, but it's true on the PAT. He's now hit over 40 on the campaign. Talking about Ridgeway, as we'll just stay here and see out the last 13 seconds of this half. Ridgeway, someone who really had a great performance in a win over UCM back on the 14th of September that put this UCO team on the map. The Mules, just about everybody had them winning the conference this year in MIAA, and UCO went out there, beat them 57-40, and in that contest, Ridgeway had 5 of his first 11 catches on the season there. Since then, it's been just team after team this Broncos offense has been able to mow through. They've still had a good performance today outside the turnovers, but can they make themselves 7-0? I will say this, and this is something that I've seen a lot of dialogue for the Central Oklahoma fans, and I'll say I'm with them on this. They got to get more love from some of that local press. The Oklahoman, all of them, they got to start talking more about these Broncos. I saw a piece from the Oklahoman saying football season's been rough in Oklahoma. Well, yes, maybe for OU. Yes, maybe for OSU. But right there in your backyard, you've got one of the best teams in Division II, possibly the best offense in Division II. The numbers definitely back it up. Definitely got to show some love for the Broncos, but you know that an NSU win today would put a dent in the momentum train for Coach Durrell and company. River Rock searching for their first President's Cup win since 2013.
Watch for an onside kick here. They want to try to get the ball back. It's a 40-21 game.
Nope. Steady sends it deep, and very deep at that. No return for Northeastern State. 13 seconds. Okay, I'm gonna let you put on the coach's headset, take off the broadcaster's headset for a second. If you're Coach Chev, do you want to try anything here? I feel like logic would say just run out the clock, especially since you start the second half with the ball. But does he get cute?
I would not take a chance on it myself as a coach. And not take a knee, take it into the locker room. It's 40-21. I'm going to get the ball back to start the second half. Go to victory formation for the first half.
And that's exactly what they're going to do. Victory formation, no need to risk it. River Rocks will take a 19-point lead to the half. 40-21 is our score. Coach Chev is with DJ Sean Solo.
Coach, the team looks solid. Deuce is playing great. Offensive line is holding up. What are you seeing out there?
Our guys are playing hard. We're making plays in all 3 phases of the game, and we got to keep playing hard in the second half and keep making plays. That's a good football team, and they're going to make some adjustments. So we got to make adjustments and come out the second half. We got the football. We got to get a good drive and get points on the first drive.
Turnover battle is one of the things we talked about this week. We're 3-1 and the block punt.
Yeah, we're playing hard. Guys are doing a good job, but we got a lot of stuff we got to fix too. And I'm just proud of the effort they're giving. And like I said, we're going to come out and we're going to keep being aggressive and get after this team on the other sideline.
All right, thanks for your time, Coach.
All right, Northeastern State up by 19 at the break. Appreciate Coach Chev taking some time with the People's DJ Sean Solo. 40-21 is our score. Halftime presented by Tahlequah Family Vision Clinic is next, featuring the thoughts of Lou and Sean, as well as a deep dive into the numbers. The River Rock Spotlight presented by Butiki and the Beast, featuring Sean's boy Cam Woods. And we'll also go around Oklahoma football, see how everybody's looking here this week in the middle of October. 40-21 is our score. You're tuned into Lakes Country 102.1 and the MIAA Network. Stay with us. Second half, NSU in search of their first President's Cup win since 2013. Riverhawks historically against Central Oklahoma have won 30 times, but they've lost the last 9. They were winless against UCO in the Robinson and Eckert eras. As UCO will kick. UCO wearing their white jerseys. NSU in black with the white pants. Kick is up from Cavedo. Fielded at the 10, taken by Jay Caldwell, past the 20 to the 25-30. And he's finally knocked over. And getting involved there on the stop was number 22. Looks like it was William Mason.
Yeah, Mason just came in there and just hammered him and knocked him over sideways. Just a great open field hit. Didn't try to wrap him up, just tried to make body contact and knock him off his feet, and he did a good job of it.
So Northeastern State, this is the personnel coming out. McKinney's the tailback, Dortch is the quarterback, Cam Woods is the tight end. The receivers are Caldwell, Roberson, and Dedrick Taylor-Atkins. We'll get to the offensive line after this play, but it should be still the same. Malachi Brown, Alexander Brown, Quentin Thomas, Marion Warrior, Kaysen Badley. In fact, that's exactly what the personnel is. Handoff goes to McKinney. Riverhawks need to score this drive, you'd think, to still have a great cushion once UCO gets the ball next. McKinney, short gain of about 3.
He was hit at the line and able to slide outside, and then got hit again and still drove forward for 2 or 3 yards.
The official pickup looks like it was a little more than 2. Riverhawks need to get it to the 40 to move the chains for our first Whataburger first down of the second half. NSU up by 19, 40-21. Last time they scored at least 40 points against UCO was when they beat them in 2013. 45 points in that win. McKinney, handoff fake. Dortch keeps it himself. Trudges ahead, gets to the 35, but very little beyond that as Zane Adams gets involved on the stop, and he's part of a gang of tacklers there. Another one, Dylan Buckheit, he's been one of the team's top tacklers this season. He gets involved in laying the wood on the NSU signal caller, and it takes us to 3rd and 4 at the 36.
Yeah, it picked up about 3.5 yards, so you're back to a 3rd and 4 to pick up, so you need to convert this and move the chains.
13:56 left to go in the third quarter. Riverhawks need to make sure they can withstand whatever Durrell and UCO coaching staff will throw at them. You know, they want to make life tough on Dortch mentally, get them uncomfortable, make some adjustments. UCO teases sending the dongs. They go to Dortch. He faces pressure from Buckheit. Throw is there.
Arm is hooked. I did not see a flag.
Yeah, that was McKinney locked up that time. Covered by Connor Johnson, the All-MIAA linebacker. Passes incomplete, falls into the turf, and we see the punt team. An uninspiring first drive in the second half, and now Tyler Crawford enters the fray. And I believe for the first time today, we call his name, and it's not involving Crawford on kickoff.
Yeah, that definitely there was a missed penalty. That could have been yardage and a first down. We'll have to kick it away here.
Broncos have 2 back to return. On the season, Crawford averaging roughly 41.5 yards per punt, but he's had 3 of over 50 in the last 2 weeks.
Nice kick here.
Yeah, this is a good kick around the 29. Lost the football for a second. Quick recovery, and he's brought down around the 31. And that was the long snapper, Colton Kanapi, getting involved. Kanapi says, hey, long snappers can tackle too.
Jacob Delso letting that go through his hands and just had to reach down and pick it up. By that time, the Riverhawks were there.
Ball at the 31, and now this is really what I'm waiting to see. NSU couldn't score on their opening drive, and now if you're UCO, I mean, this team was down by as much as 26, but nothing feels impossible for Jet Huff and perhaps the best offense in Division II football. Definitely the best offense in the MIAA.
Need to stop here.
Handoff goes inside. There's an opening. Cottrell takes it past the 40. Doesn't quite get to midfield, but he's around the 45 when he's brought down by Hagan Foreman. And so that's a quick first for UCO.
A nice job. He just kind of covered up that football, ran to the end of the line, and turned it upfield and tried to turn on the Jets and picked up 15 yards.
44 is the official spot. Throw, Huff, deflected. Clavon Kane. It'll bring up second down. Clavon Kane. Finger
Nice
wag.
job.
Yeah, finger wag in the same vein of the late, great Dikembe Mutombo.
Get it up that arm, get that arm up in the air and get it in front of the quarterback. And that arm came up just as he was releasing the football, and he'd already committed to his follow-through. So, 2nd and 10.
2nd and 10, Huff, quick throw. This is what they're good at, the quick passes and use those athletes. Passes caught. He gets maybe one more after the catch, so a slim pickup for UCO. They're going to give him 2 to the 46, but they need to get it to the 46 on the opposite side for the first down. Blake Korn is down, so the athletic training staff will make their way onto the field. We'll step aside for 60 seconds on Lake's Tube Archer Cleaners. Huff's pass on 3rd down, complete past the 35. Its intended target that time was
Number 15.
Yeah, number 15, which is Ashton Schumann. And so that will move the sticks in a big way for Central Oklahoma. 3rd down, Blake Korn was the man tended to on that injury timeout. Looks like it probably was just a cramp, and you hope that's the case. Korn, one of their better defenders up front. Handoff goes to Cottrell. And you talked earlier, Clavon Kane makes the stop from around the line of scrimmage. He did the right thing there. Didn't go for waste, because you get waste, you get a face full of turf. Yep. He went to the legs, and Cottrell could not do anything.
You can't run if you can't move your legs.
And that's a tackle for a loss. Clavon Kane last week had 2 TFLs. Second game this season, he's had multiple. Huff, 2nd and 11, looking to throw. Going to Schumann. Pass is caught just by LeKedrick Holmes, and that's going to be a score. UCO touchdown. A big play there for the UCO wideout.
And the whole offense on that drive right there, nothing but passing plays, 1 running play. Everything else, they're going to the outside. That was working in the first half, able to put 6 on the board.
And, LeKedrick Holmes is a phenomenal playmaker, great athlete, a great DB. But that right there was Huff. That was Durrell. That was them saying, we're going to go one-on-one, and our guys are just going to beat yours, and that's what happened there. UCO will have the extra point, and this will bring the matchup even further within reach. Made kick, and it goes to a 12-point game. Nicky's kick, one of the best kickers in the MIAA, recently named Athlete of the Week. It's good. All right, folks, get out your popcorn, get out your soda, whatever, because we've got, again, quite the firefight. 40-28 is our score. And with that, we'll step aside for 60 seconds on Lakes Country 102.1. Sean, Riverhawks have had big leads at the half before this season. 3 of at least 17 points against MIAA teams. Quick scores like this at the beginning have been known to sometimes wear on them mentally. How do you keep that bug off you if you're the Riverhawks?
They got to keep the energy. Energy on the sideline is very quiet right now. A little bit all business, but you can tell the energy's gone down just a little bit.
Get psyched up, get going.
Yeah, I got to get that offense going. Let's play some Guns N' Roses or something. Get them peppy as Nicky Quevedo's kick. It's a deep one. End zone touchback. Northeastern stayed up by 12, and again, I'll go to you with the same question, Lou. NSU, we've seen it this season. We saw it with Missouri Western. We saw it from Missouri Southern. You get a big lead at the half, but you give up a quick score to begin the second half after you yourself fail to on offense. I know that does a number on you, but you can't let that get to you because, heck, you're still up by double digits.
And how do you get rid of that little curse? You score on this drive right here, get downfield, and you put points on the board, and you say to yourself, okay, I'm still in this. We're still in this. Let's go.
And UCO, a big reason why they're 6-0, you give them momentum. They're not giving it back. Darian Dortch and McKinney in the backfield. Dortch looking to throw to his left, goes quick, middle of the field.
There you go.
Then the hashes, Dedrick Taylor-Atkins. Passes caught around the 38-yard line is where they'll spot him at. That's a Whataburger first down.
13-yard pickup and a perfect strike. That's what you need to do there. Just keep moving the football, keep moving the chains, get downfield as fast as you can, get it in the end zone, put points on the board.
Darian Dortch. First season of NCAA football. A win today would be huge for his career. Dortch fakes a handoff to McKinney, go to the right, near side, just outside the numbers. Jay Caldwell with the catch around the 40, but he's immediately swarmed by at least 3 white jerseys, one of them being Connor Johnson, another Dylan Buckheit, and those are those 2 guys. If somebody on UCO's defense is making a play, it's probably one of them.
That's going to get out to about the 41-yard line. He's going to pick up 3 here. That was his forward progress as soon as he made the catch and turned around and got hit. Got pushed back about 3 or 4 yards. Forward progress is going to give them a 2nd and 6 here.
Dortch and McKinney, the backfield again. McKinney will get it, cuts outside, just goes
Oh,
beyond
yeah.
the numbers, gets past the 50, and he's drug out of bounds. NSU, they, I think, won a penalty there against them, but they're not going to get it. Instead, it was David Williams on the tackle on McKinney, and several times they've gone high up on the shoulder pads to drag him out of bounds.
Yeah.
Just throw him like a rag doll, but
The defender had no choice there.
Yeah.
I mean, he's out of bounds, and the player's running down the sidelines. You got to grab him and get him out of bounds somehow.
yeah, and that's, I mean, McKinney's one of those guys, he's not an inside rusher. He cuts outside, lets his agility do the speaking. He's still able to get into plus territory at the 40. 10:20 to play. 40-28 to score. UCO scoring first in this second half. Dortch looking to go deep, airs it out. Jay Caldwell tipped, and it goes into the turf. Caldwell was defended by J.K. Moore, and so that will take us to 2nd and 10. What a play there by Moore.
Yes.
Closely defending Caldwell.
Nice job of just staying right there with him, stride for stride, keep his hands up in the air, and as soon as the ball got there, he had hands all over him and the ball. Perfect timing. Just well defended.
So Casey Riley enters the contest. That's the player you mentioned, Lou, at the half that maybe we'll see more of. Also got Cam Woods. I believe I see Jason Harris Jr., Deuce, as well as Danny Armstead, who's
Let's get
dressed
the
out.
train going. Got Riley in there.
See if they want to go to him. They do. Inside handoff, Casey Riley. He shakes one man off, and he's able to get a good gain going. There you go, choo-choo for the Casey Riley train. Gordon, the one who takes them down and didn't get the first. It's going to take us to 3rd down, but you know what? Solid pickup, 2nd and 10. Riley's not afraid to do the dirty work. With a guy like him, a runner like him, the numbers are never going to be pretty. On the season, he's averaging less than 3 yards a carry, but you know, short-yarded situations, you need a bowling ball to just mow through defenses.
Yeah.
He can do it.
And he lowers his head, pulls the ball in nice and tight, lowers his shoulders, and he'll drive forward. You're going to hit him, but he's going to get a couple of extra yards on it. Give it to him again.
He's a guy that reminds me of the Boulder from Indiana Jones. 3rd and 2.
Yeah.
Design keeper Dortch.
Yes.
It's going to be close. Looks like he got the yardage, and 1st down. Needed to get to the 30. Just past it he goes. So we have another Whataburger 1st down. Riverhawks had 12 in the first half. UCO with 14. UCO, again, you talk about the athletes, you talk about the individual playmakers, one-on-one, you just put it straight up like that. Yes, UCO probably bodes a little bit better, but I think Chev, from a coaching standpoint, has used his guys to their strengths. And I would argue, and again, this is voice of the Riverhawks being voice of the Riverhawks, but I would say Chev has called a better game on his side. Can he keep it up is the question.
Yeah, and the speed of the plays has changed just a little bit.
Dortch fakes the handoff to Riley, looking to go deep. Deuce, end zone, no. Instead, it lands to the left of Deuce Roberson and into the turf on the black side of field, which for those who have never been to Doc Wadley means end zone.
Yeah, and Dortch was just upset with himself that he just threw that a little bit off. I was mentioning the timing of the plays. If you've noticed here in this 3rd quarter coming into the second half, the Riverhawks are not taking as long to get back to the line, to get set, look to the sidelines. All right, let's snap the ball, let's go. And that timing is kind of throwing off the defense just a little bit because they didn't see that from Riverhawks in the first half.
2nd and 10. NSU, I think, can all agree that Riverhawks need to score here. Shift momentum their side.
An answer to the last score.
Absolutely. It's Dortch and Riley, the backfield. Riley has stayed on the field for last few plays. Riverhawks move all the offensive linemen to the right. Dortch, though, there's some penetration from the UCO defensive line, and they get to him. See Largent. I also see in on the tackle. Looks like number 21, Connor Johnson. He's all over the field. You knew he was going to be, though. All in my AA for a reason. Zane Adams gets a piece of that.
Yep.
And so a tackle for a loss takes it to 3rd and long. Ball at the 32.
Just able to penetrate that line. Had one coming in from the other side. Dortch running, obviously, with the football. I think they change it up here, and let's go back to the air, go to the outside.
A little over 8 minutes left in the 3rd quarter. A lot of time, and you wonder if this is in the range of Troy Wynn. If he kicked it, it'd be right at what he was able to sink from in the first half, 49 yards. Dortch going to the air, scanning, looking at his right. Has an open man in Deuce, but can't throw to him instead.
No call.
No, we don't get one. Dortch was able to gain a couple to about the 30, and that's got to be frustrating for Deuce because he was open along the near sideline, and instead we're going to see perhaps Agent Zero. Yes, Troy Wynn.
Got him by the helmet, even though it wouldn't have been enough to a 1st down, an incidental face mask, but he still got him by the helmet up front.
So the ball will be snapped from the 30. Troy is going to kick from about the 37, so you can put this as a 47-yard try. He's made from 46 and 49 earlier. He did miss an extra point, but he's shown some leg, and this is the side of the field you want to kick from. Troy, right hash. Kick is up. And
Good.
it is good.
Yes. Points on the board.
Very close. Was not a boomer, but just barely had the leg. And the Riverhawks, you mentioned it, Lou, points on the board. The lead is 15, 43-28. Entering today, Troy win 2 of 6. Today, though, on field goals, all of which have been from beyond 45 yards out. 3 for 3. Love it from Agent Zero as Northeastern State takes a 15-point lead. We'll pause. Go ahead.
I was going to say, look at the excitement on the sidelines now. I'm sure we could probably get a report from Sean Solo. Totally different picture down there on the sidelines now for the Riverhawks after getting that score.
Definitely. A little over 7 minutes to play in the third. We'll step aside on the MIAA. Kickoffs brought to you by Premier Pet Clinic. Field goals brought to you by Larson Dietetics.
Now, he's been kicking into the wind and putting it at the end zone. Now he's going with the wind. Can he kick this into the tailgate party?
We'll see. Crawford's kick is up, and this is going to be another one that lands around the 20. Riverhawk defense already there through the 30. They slip through to the 35, and he's brought down finally. The returner is for Central Oklahoma. On the return that time, looked like it was number 11, which is
Hagen Hacker.
Yeah, Hagen Hacker. Not the first time he's returned a kick today. So UCO will set up shop. Northeastern State searching for their first win since 2013 against UCO and their 31st all-time. This is the 85th chapter in the series between the two. And the first one, by the way, for the historians out there to take place on October 19th. A lot of November chapters between these two squads. The last 3 and now 4 straight have been contested in October.
Defense needs to get up on their toes here and make a stop on this drive.
Huff from the gun, hands off. Looks like they went that time to William Mason. He cuts to the near side and minimal pickup. Gained maybe 1 from the 36 to the 37. He goes. Rory Phillips alongside Lou Kelly with you on the call today. Number 11, Central Oklahoma, also ranked 8th in the D2Football.com poll. You lose this one, you take a pretty big tumble, and you definitely quite a knock on the momentum train. Huff takes a snap, looking, his left, going. Pass is caught again. They go to that matchup between Schumann and LeKedrick Holmes, and Schumann's able to push him into the red zone. Holmes is frustrated. That's the second time he's given up a big catch to Ashton on the UCO side. They're going to snap the ball from the 20.
Schumann with a push off there just before the ball got there.
Well, that's going to be one that, Holmes has got to get a stop or else they're going to keep picking on him. Handoff goes to Mason. Mason has some room, cuts to the far side, to the 10, the 5, and did he get there? Doesn't look like it, just short, but man, that was a great run from William Mason.
That looked good. And they're trying to go knock on the door and score again.
And this gets it to single digits, by the way. It's 43-28, so you score here if you're feeling a little feisty, confident. Maybe you go for the 2. I feel like it's still maybe a bit early for that, but we'll see what the plan is. Ball is at the 1. They immediately break the huddle. Out of the eye they go. Hand off to the fullback, and that goes to Andrew Carney, who just says, get the heck out of my way, and he scores. Andrew Carney, that is his 5th touchdown of the season, his 4th on the ground.
Knocked down his own player, Noah Dobson, number 78, as he ran into his back in the end zone.
Carney, a All-MIAA honorable mention from 2023, his 8th career touchdown as a Bronco. Nicky Quevedo will kick, and this is a dagger. I like the call from Durrell. Don't want to go out and go for 2 like this and put yourself behind by 9. 2 scores, basically. So they'll keep it honest here. The extra point is up. Quevedo's made over 40 of those this season. He's only missed 3. This kick is good. So it takes us to 43-35. Folks, this is starting to look like a basketball score, and we don't even really begin the basketball season officially until November. Northeastern State with just under 6 minutes to play, up by 8. The offense will seek a response when they come back on the field. We'll pause for 60 seconds on Lakes Country and the MIAA ready for kickoff on the MIAA network. I want to say hello to our video audience on the MIAA network. Touchback on the kickoff to Jay Caldwell.
Good heads-up play there. No sense in trying to run that out from. You're in the corner, so you don't have any room running to the right. You've only got room running to the left. Take the knee, bring it out, grab yourself an easy 20, 25 yards, and start from there.
Back on Lakes Country now, and want to thank our listeners, both on radio and on video. We'll go ahead and pause 10 seconds for station identification on Lakes Country. 2.1 and the MIAA Network, the place to be for this afternoon contest. Only one other Division II matchup going on right now. I believe actually I can stand corrected on that. Northwestern, Oklahoma, and East Central just kicked off at 3, but you got Southeastern taking on Southern Nazarene. Hand off to Ramon McKinney. Ramon takes it to the 35, to the 40, on the far side, pushed out of bounds, and he goes into the UCO sideline, enemy territory. Get him out of there, get him out of there.
Wow.
Whataburger first down.
Great run by number 13 to get down the sidelines, and he got ahead of the defender, and he just kind of shoved him in the back into his own sidelines, pushed him forward for another 2 or 3 yards as he pushed him out of bounds, and it's about a 16, 18-yard pickup right there.
A little under 5.5 minutes to go. 43-35. Again, we enter really must-score territory for Northeastern State as UCO just a touchdown and a 2-point conversion away. Since they got down by 26, Broncos have outscored NSU by 18. Dortch has some time, looking to maybe go deep. Instead has to roll to his left as he runs out of time. Throw along the far sideline. Pass is caught, you mentioned. Dedrick Taylor-Atkins makes the grab with 5 minutes on the dot. Atkins showing a flair for the glove, so to speak.
Where's the instant replay on that? Catching that, keeping both toes on the field, and then dragging the falling out of bounds. Stops the clock.
Dortch, quick throw, no, intercepted. Taken away, that's Noah West to the 30, and he is gone if he lets go of Dortch to the 10, dragging him inside the 5, loses the football. Looks like UCO has a recovery around the 1. Saving the play is Jack Puckett, so interception returned almost to the house by Noah West.
I think number 7 was trying to get the ball to pop out so his a little help there could get him in there, but he was already down at the 1, so a pick on the Riverhawks here is going to take this the other way and put us in a dangerous situation here. A chance for them to get within 1 or 2. If they go for 2, tie it up.
Right on the dime with less than a minute left in the second quarter. It was 40-14. Not even a quarter of game time in since then. And the Broncos have a chance to tie with a score and a 2-point conversion. Out of the eye, they go back to the fullback. Jumps over everybody, the pile of humanity, and how about another for Andrew Carney? Scores for Central Oklahoma, and just like that, it's either going to be a 1-point game, a 2-point game if you miss, or it's all tied up off of a 2-point conversion. Again, if I'm UCO, I mean, this is the spot you want to be in now. Do you maybe try to punch it through to even things up at 43?
That's what I think they're going to do, is go for 2 here.
NSU and UCO combining so far for 85 points. If the 86 belongs to the Broncos, even Steven. Jet Huff. Jalen Cottrell in the backfield. Huff to throw.
Looking.
End zone. Caught.
Yep.
And beautiful play there. Great catch and a great read off that slant. It was on the grab. Dominic Dunn, who's already caught a touchdown today, and we're all tied up at 43, folks. That, 90% of football teams Division II, you get them down by 26 points and it's game over. You're out of lives. But with UCO, it just seems like they keep putting coins back into the arcade game, so to speak, and just keep finding ways to generate chances. And that interception return by Noah West, a big one brought down to the 1, and it was just a matter of slipping it to the trusty fullback, going to the trusty man as well in the end zone on the 2-point conversion. And we're tied up.
How can you not score on a turnover like that? A pick and you almost get to 6, get down to the 1. You've got to punch that in. But again, here in the second half, I think they were able to make some adjustments in the locker room in the first half. Either that or they were kind of sandbagging and holding off. And just I think they underestimated the Riverhawks in that first half.
Oh, they did.
And then get in the locker room, talk about it, come back out, and we're seeing a little bit different offense from these guys. And then that pick there, it's got to help them.
Here's the thing. The wins have not come in yet, but this is the most talented NSU's been.
Yes. In a long
really
time.
since, you'd have to probably go back at least a decade.
Yeah. And it's not over yet. It may be a tie game, but you just need to, on the sidelines, you need to fire up. On offense and defense, you need to fire up. A punch in the mouth would get it back down the field and get in the end zone.
Definitely. It's just a matter of can a younger NSU offense, especially at those skill positions, find a way to get themselves back in the swing of things against a more veteran group at UCO. This is Adam Dorrell's third season over there in Edmond, and he has certainly been able to build up such a great offense and a solid defense. But
I'm going to say yes because it's an oblong football and anything can happen.
Definitely. Caldwell's kick returned at the 10. He cuts to the left, up the middle, to the 30. Good return from Jay Caldwell, a little bit above his season average of 20. It looks like he got about 22 on that tote, and he's a little bit shaken up as he's visibly limping. And we also have a UCO player down, so we'll just step aside for 60 seconds on both Lakes Country and the back now after Zion Bell had to be tended to. Jay Caldwell also visibly limping coming off of his kick return of 22 yards. Darian Dorsch to throw, goes to Casey Riley just beyond the 40. He makes the grab to the 50. He tails ahead. Casey Riley makes it a Whataburger first down. Riley caught a touchdown last week, and another big catch from him moves the sticks for the green and white.
They mark this ball at the 49-yard line. That's about a 19-yard pickup for Riley and moves the chains into UCO territory.
Ball is at the 49. Central Oklahoma, one of 13 remaining undefeated teams in the country entering this week. They have fired off a top-ranked total of 577.8 yards per game, as well as the second-ranked passing offense. Dortch fakes handoff to Riley. He's in trouble, and he was met that time by defensively number 30, Jack Puckett.
Puckett just came through there almost
We got a flag on the
unattended,
play.
and we got a penalty down, and it's going to be roughing the passer.
No, I'm thinking that might be intentional grounding.
That could be. Yep, roughing the pass or intentional grounding. So they'll back it up and go second down.
That is tough, and that's something that, I mean, I can't put that too much on Dortch because quarterback, your natural mechanism is to go out of bounds.
Yeah, throw it away.
And he's, again, that's an unfortunate situation, but it does set NSU back even further, and you talk about those momentum shifters.
You have to throw the ball in the general direction of one of your receivers. Make it short.
Yeah. Dortch to snap here on second and long. Need to get it to the 39 on the opposite side of the field with NSU backed up their own 38. Pass is caught here to Casey Riley, but they got a lot of work to do. He's brought down around the 47. Ball was snapped at the 43, so a gain of 4. Does a little bit of good and positive gain, but it's still third and pretty far out there.
Number 16, that's J.K. Moore. Getting a little bit aggressive at the end of the play. They're already on the ground, and he's reaching in to rip the ball out like it's going to be a fumble. He's got to be careful those extracurricular after the play's blown dead. You could get a flag for it.
3rd and 14. Two opposite, approaches from an energy standpoint. When you look at the sidelines, UCO's pumped up now with recent events at NSU. It just feels like the wind's out of their sails right now. They need a big play to kickstart things. Turn the volume down on Edmond's side. Throw, caught. Cam Woods, that should be a first. It is. Near side, outside the numbers, Cam Woods, and why not go to the trusty tight end? He's one of this team's best natural receivers, and when he comes to Doc Wadley, again, he just hits another level. Tied for the team leading receptions in the first half with 5. He adds another one there for, again, a Whataburger first.
37 yards to go. We've got to get this moving on down the field. New set of downs, but hey, I'm looking for another first down here on this play.
Definitely. Ball at the 36. I want to start seeing some black jerseys on the near sideline for NSU start jumping up. We need some energy around here, and this crowd also has got to get involved. Dortch claps his hands. Fakes the handoff to Ramon. He's looking. Got an open man. Dedrick Taylor-Atkins. And he just lost the football. Dropped it.
Had to jump really, really high to get that and just could not pull it down. It was thrown just a little too tall.
And this is another case of Dortch perhaps being a bit off target on some of these throws. That's when I know that Dedrick Taylor-Atkins will want back because that pass was intended for him. Open target up near the far sideline inside of the red zone. And now NSU working with 2nd and 10. Ball's at the 36, need to get to the 26 to advance.
I had wide open space out there, clear traffic. Hey, let's run the same thing.
Dortch and McKinney the backfield as it's been vast majority of this contest. McKinney handoff. Tries to cut outside, but at that point it's too late. He picks up a few, maybe to around the 31.
Picked up 4 yards down to the 32-yard line.
That's the official spot. So that brings us to 3rd down and 6 to go. Ramon McKinney and Casey Riley have been the top backs this week, despite Blake May's 86-yard performance last week against Lincoln, as well as a 149-yard effort on the ground against UCO last season. He has not really been a factor today, and those are really the only 3 healthy regular backs in the rotation after the team lost Marco Smith, as well as Jaden Trawick earlier this season.
Odom comes in and Riley comes in.
Got Dean Odom out there lined up next to Malachi Brown, so get an extra blocker. Dortch, keeper, fakes a handoff to Ramon. Dortch
There you
could
go.
have the first, and yes, he does. Pushes ahead.
Down to the 24. That's enough to move the chains. That was a nice play there. I was going with the defense who were moving off to the right because they had Odom just come in and set up out there. And number 1 out there as well. That's Atkins. And I went with them. I thought he was going to pass the ball, and he just tucked it and took off up the field. Perfect.
60 seconds left in the third quarter. River Rock still in the hunt. 43-43. Dortch, Riley, McKinney the backfield. Both the backs lined up to the left of Darian. Darian will just keep it himself. Darian right at the numbers, 20-yard line. Just a little beyond that he goes before he's brought down. And Dortch is a little bit slow to get up. That is not good as the athletic training staff have entered the field. We'll step aside for 60 seconds on Lakes Country and the MIAA network. Chest a second ago. McKinney the quarterback. 3 men in the backfield. McKinney, he keeps it. Second down and medium, and he's not going to be able to pick up anything. Maybe a yard. Also back on Lakes Country 102.1 now. McKinney, the quarterback for a play in place of Darian Dortch. Dortch will come out after missing one, and it looks like they're actually going to